What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1
with another epic installment of For the Greater.
Wow.
I don't know why I scratched, but we're back at it again, answering your epic questions. And this time we have one from All Might. He says, "What race would you guys remove from 40K, model and or lore-wise?" And he says, "Thanks, guys, and hopefully you can answer my question," which we will.
Yeah, so what race will be removed from Warhammer 40K? I believe that in the near future, in the far future,
In the near far future,
we will see like the obscure Inquisition, Adeptus Sororitas, and that other Imperial Guard race just go away. I'm gonna pull it up and then I'll tell you which one it is, because I don't think there's that many people that play those races.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Inquisition is a dying. It's dying model-wise. Like, you don't really see anybody play it. Whenever people do play Imperium, it's mostly Space Marines.
Yeah, if anything, I think what's gonna happen is that the Inquisition and all of those races within those categories are gonna end up becoming specialist gaming topics. So they're gonna come out with box sets with like a small amount of models for the Inquisition with rules for smaller games, because I think that's what the Inquisition would be best for. Like the Death Watch stuff.
Yeah, so they're gonna be taken out.
Yeah,
they're gonna be giving new models.
Well, I think they're gonna keep the models, but they're gonna put them into specialist games.
Okay, so no more Inquisition codexes and stuff like that.
No, not for. And then we won't, because I don't think GW will make as much money keeping them as a full-fledged race for you to play Warhammer 40K, the traditional game. I think they're gonna make more money if they come out with a box set and they have special rules unique to the Inquisition, and they focus more on specialist games like that, which I think they're doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
That and that other Imperial Guard army that I'm looking up.
But while he's looking that up, I'm going to give you my thoughts. So obviously, since I played Tau and Grey Knights the most, the Inquisition did come to mind, because the Grey Knights and the Inquisition were together, and now they're separate. And obviously, you see way more Grey Knight players than Inquisition and whatnot. I do want the Sisters of Battle to come out with new models, new everything, because their lore is pretty cool. But the one race I think is going to go bye-bye is the Vespids. Whenever you play Tau, you hardly see any of these guys, if ever. You can ask many Tau players, they probably don't even know what Vespids are. Because all you see is battle suits and Tau gun lines.
And
Kroot for the meat shields and Vespids.
Didn't the Krootox go away?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Krootox, Kroot Hounds, the Narlox, the Greater Narlox. Like, to me, those look pretty cool. But, yeah, Vespids, hopefully they get killed off in the lore or something. And
bring the squats in their place.
Right.
So it's the... where'd it go? Militarum Tempestus that I believe is gonna like go away.
Aren't those new though? Like, they just got new models and all that.
Well, yeah, but I don't think they're gonna. They're the same thing as Imperial Guard, but not. I guess people can ally them, but they're never gonna be as popular as other smaller races like the what are they called? The Imperial Knights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you get more bang for your buck.
Right, because that's weird. Like, Imperial Knights are like they're like one model, but just like armed differently. Unless you talk about Forge World, so it's weird how they would come out with a whole codex for that.
But I think that's gonna stay. Right. I don't think those knights are ever gonna go away.
Everybody's using them. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here to stay.
Yeah. So if you want to build an ally army, it can't be focused on troops like the Tempestus.
Right.
And the Taurox Prime gets a lot of complaints because it doesn't make sense.
Right. We had a question about how we thought it looked, and it's
goofy.
Yeah, it's weird.
So let's go into the questions. Australian patriarchy. The theory was the plot for Quantum Leap at 1740, a show where the protagonist jumped from alternative realities to alternative realities. I don't remember what we were talking about.
He was talking about his thoughts on Primarchs, and somebody said that they thought one of the lost Primarchs was jumping from body to body, trying to better the Imperium.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and apparently that's part of a show.
It says, "Shake my head, millennials. Warhammer might be the only franchise to be truly loved over the generations."
Yeah, it's been out for a long ass time.
Yeah.
You see little kids and adults playing it, so.
Hopefully it gets better now with video games and hopefully shows, maybe. Joshua Martin.
If the Grey Knights got their gene seed from the Emperor himself, wouldn't that make them the Emperor their Primarch?
Kinda.
I mean, yeah, but it's not quite.
Because he's not a Primarch. He's way better than a Primarch.
Yeah, he's. I don't know, like the way I see it, wouldn't it be the opposite? As like, since they are made from the Emperor's gene seed, aren't they themselves Primarchs? But they're not.
No.
Yeah. So it's.
Yeah.
It's like they're really strong and they're psychically enhanced and all that, but they're not to a Primarch's level.
Right.
But they're beefy.
They're beefy. Daniel Rogers. Well, we know this power level. His power level is definitely 9,000. I will go now.
Yeah, Drago is pretty OP. Hashishi. I'm currently building the office of the Papa Smurf, Marnius Calgar, inspired by the old image in the Rogue Trader Compellum. For inspiration, I checked if you had made a 40 facts on the Ultra Smurfs, but I couldn't find one. Are you going to make one, or do you hate the Blue Brothers as much as everyone else? Thanks for the great videos. Yeah, they're coming.
We don't hate them.
No, I actually like them.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, I feel like they're too vanilla. Like, they're too just bland. Nothing really sets them apart. But, I mean...
They have more lore than anybody else.
Yeah, Gilliman was pretty influential.
Extremely influential.
Right, he basically was like the second emperor in a way.
And honestly, you can't talk about second founding chapters without at least mentioning the Ultramarines at some point. So you were going to hear a lot from them.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned.
The French guy. If Drago is a Primarch, he must have come from or for a legion of trolls. I mean, he's the kind of guy who infiltrates Slaaneish's personal manor of lust and luxury just to break her favorite vase. Yeah, he's not a Primarch. We all know this. He's just a regular Grey Knight that's OP because of Matt Ward and his OP-ness. But yeah, I mean, he's that kind of guy.
Aetherius Fox. What's the fastest way to get up to speed about 40K? Watch our videos.
Yeah.
Where do you guys get your vast well of knowledge from? We pray to the Emperor and he bestows that upon us. And we also read the wiki page on online. So
we kind of went over this in the last video, but we get it from Codices, Wiki, Lexicanum. What was the other one? 4chan, Black Library, Games Workshop
website.
Yeah, Forge World. Yeah, there's a lot of places.
Yeah.
And a lot of those places are convoluted because some of them, like...
But they're all going to tell you the same thing. Like, that's the one thing. Like, you could go to 4chan, you could go to Lexicon, you can go to Wiki, and they're all going to have things from the codexes. They might be worded differently.
Yeah.
But it's all going to be the same information.
Right.
Because it's not ours.
Right, like, you can't say the Emperor hated humanity because obviously it's fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Warlord 1904 Gaming. Wow, thanks for selecting my comment. First time, love this channel.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Lucid Dreamer. 1720 is a reference to the Quantum Leap, an old series.
Well, we need to check that out. Is it on Netflix?
The Star Wars Maniac. Why can't I see the sub count?
Because we don't want you to.
It's our secret.
No, I'm just kidding. I still haven't changed that. We're like at 20 now.
I think it's 20,000.
Yeah. Wibber Wormchild. Okay, the last question. You two guys, that's your first question. You two guys clearly have no idea what Quantum Leap is.
Now we do.
That's not a question though.
Right.
This is a statement. No, we have no idea what Quantum Leap is.
But
now we're going to have to figure it out what it is.
Because it's that thing you guys are talking about the jumping into bodies and...
Which sounds really cool.
Yeah.
If that's a show...
Which
then,
it is.
Oh, it is a show?
Yeah, they've said it. Yeah.
Okay, and it's from long ago.
Right.
Probably not gonna watch it because I can't watch sci-fi shows from before. They just look goofy.
Because it's sci-fi. It's supposed to.
Well, no, but like modern sci-fi, like if you look at
Sharknado?
no, that's not.
That's not sci-fi?
No.
Okay.
But like so like the new Star Trek stuff, that's awesome. New Star Wars, that's awesome. Old Star Wars, that's awesome. But you look at like the old Star Trek, that's goofy.
I guess. Ricky Cohen. I always wondered, did the Primarchs know where the other brothers were after they were reunited?
Probably.
Like a psychic bond or something.
They all had psychic bonds to the Emperor, so I would just assume that the web continues. So, yeah. I haven't read anything on that though.
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think so. I do know that Alpharius and Omegon, obviously, because they're twins.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the other ones.
There's a lot of Primarchs though that had like very strong connections, like Fulgrim and Magnus. No,
Ferrus Manus.
Ferrus Manus.
Yeah. Because they were BFFs.
Yeah, and then the other one, what's his name? Horus and Sanguinius. So yeah.
Nesunde Overton. No, the Grey Knights were originally formed from loyal members of traitor legions, as the Emperor was impressed that they had remained pure even though all their brothers had fallen.
Not necessarily though. Like, there was a lot from the traitor legions, but also from other legions. Because remember, he brought what, 9 Space Marines?
Yeah. And
they weren't specific as to where they came from. They were just extremely loyal and uncorruptible. So yeah.
Right.
412. This is similar to if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device. Season 2/3 intro.
It's basically the little intro snippet that LTLM said,
which we appreciated very much.
Pretty cool.
Eagle Queen Alexis.
Eagle Queen Alexis, what do you think about the Starchild Theory? And what do you think will happen when Cypher makes it to the Emperor? My theory is that he is a champion demon of the Emperor. It would explain how he travels without a ship because he just summons in the same fashion as the Legion of the Damned.
Yeah, maybe. He is... Well, isn't Cypher, though, for sure, like, just trying to gain... Forgiveness, yeah. So I don't know, because if he's trying to gain forgiveness, I don't think the Emperor would bestow powers on him because that would show that he is forgiven. Yeah. Right. So I don't think he is a demon from the Emperor, I guess you could say. He might have powers bestowed upon him by the Warp, but not the Emperor, I think. And then the Starchild Theory, it's cool. They need to flesh it out. It's one of those things though that, like, in Games Workshop, there's so many individual theories that are amazing, and it would be awesome to see them expand on those, but there's so many that if you expand on one,
it's gonna like
mess everything up.
Yeah, it's gonna dip into, then what about this?
Yeah, because if the Starchild Theory is correct, what about the Harlequins and the Laughing God? You have to incorporate them. If you talk about the Laughing God and his, what is it called? The Last Show or whatever?
Yeah.
Then you have to incorporate what the other races. I just blinked out. I forgot.
Slaanesh.
Yeah, Slaanesh. Yeah.
So.
Well, like the whole killing of Slaanesh or whatever.
Right. And can you actually kill a Chaos God for good? That's another question.
How would that even tie in with the Cypher thing or the Last Child thing?
Right. So it jumps around.
Yeah.
Matthew De Leon. If I made an orc gun, would it be called a Mega Death Gun? It would be basically a giant laser cannon made by Big Megs, and they towed around by a Squigoth on a trailer.
Pretty awesome. You wouldn't be able to use it though because you're not an orc. You'd be blown away and your Squigoth would eat you. Well, eat whatever remained. Adeptive Caesar. Here's a legitimate question for you guys. The Night Lords are considered a chaos-aligned section of Marines, but in one of your lore videos you talked about how Conrad Kurz wanted nothing to do with the betrayal. Is Conrad a traitor? Are the Night Lords chaos? If they are, which god do they follow? On the assumption that Conrad isn't a traitor, would the Lord make up making a loyal Night Lord army? Or is it just wishful thinking? So let's break it down. Is Conrad a traitor?
Yes.
Yeah.
He blatantly sent a message to the Emperor saying that you're hypocritical because basically he called him out saying that he doesn't want to hurt the Imperium, but at the same time he's hurting other planets, races that don't conform to him. So he was like, "You a bitch, you hypocrite."
And the fact that he didn't like his legion, and he didn't like the fact that people were betraying the emperor, that was post realization that the emperor was a douchebag.
Right.
And then what's the other question? Are the Night Lords chaos?
Yes. They are unaligned. So they don't follow any god, but they are chaos.
So that answers the next one. Which god do they follow?
None.
And on the other assumption that Conrad isn't a traitor, would the lore make up making a loyal Night Lord's army? Or is this just wishful thinking?
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make up that.
Yeah, as far as I know, there are no loyalists, anybody left alive, or at all from the Night Lords. Because they're all pretty much murderers and, like, prisoners.
Vagabonds.
From Nostromo.
Scoundrels.
So they're, like, the grimiest of the grimy.
They're the drug dealers.
Right.
On the corners. Wiberg Wormchild. The largest theory of the Lost Primarchs that makes the most sense. And you have question marks, so I'm guessing what is it? So what's the largest theory of the Lost Primarch that makes most sense? That they were killed.
Right. They were either killed or put away somewhere, so where they could never ever have any influence on the Imperium. And it's most likely that Bleeman Russ executed them, but you know.
Yeah. And then you say that GW made well, there was no need for you to put a question mark because you're just gonna tell us that GW made them to be whatever the player wants them to be. They left it open for player creativity. They even said this. Yep, you got it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But we like to theorize on this channel, sir. Pow Power 2002.
I'm thinking of making some lore for my Space Marine chapter, the Iron Crows. Any pointers?
Well, first, I would say look at all the foundings, pinpoint where your Iron Crows fit in those foundings, and build a backstory before the chapter even was started.
Right.
Because your Primarch and his army is going to dictate
your role.
Yeah, the role of this new chapter.
Right.
So if it's stealth guys, Raven Guard. If they're like aggressive, Space Wolves.
Yeah. Because you can't just pick.
Like you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make your army fit something that's already been established.
You could, but then like if you bring it to somebody that knows the lore, they're gonna be nice, but in their head they're gonna talk shit.
Or they could just say, no, I don't want to play with you because your Space Wolves have blood lances.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So do your research.
Yeah. Make it legit.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today.
Right.
Thank you so.
Shit.
Thank you so much for commenting. We're gonna do this again next week, so please comment down below with more questions. We would love to answer them.
And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic 40K content. That's all we got for you today. He is
Gershwin.
Sound Alchemist, and we are out of here.